thank you for joining me today on our first class of core stability. The course has just started. It's a course for beginners, but I'm sure everybody will find out something new every time they do a class. Today we focused on a big thing, really. It's a very physical thing, but it takes a while to get into it. So we focused on getting our lines of force active, connected to the core. What does that mean? We've got 5 lines of force. The 2 legs, the 2 arms, and the spine is the 5th one. And all we do on the mat is to facilitate the extension of the spine. We want to get the spine nice and long, the space between the discs being less under pressure. So we want to make space for our central nervous system, really. That's what we want. Now, where does the core kick in? Where do the lines of force kick in for that to happen? So we started with the rooting down and the activation of the 3 arches in the feet. And that's the first step. That's the grounding step. And then as the arches are active, the tone draws up along the shins, along the calves, around the kneecaps, into the thighs. And then, so we've got the legs on, no doubt about that. And then the legs are connected to the pelvis. If we bring the tailbone ever so slightly down, so it's not sticking out, disengaged, the lower abdomen is floppy. If you put your hand right underneath the navel, you'll feel a disengagement. Whereas when you tuck it slightly in, you'll feel it draw in, you'll feel the pelvic floor draw up. So it's an inner sensation that we're looking for. It's a subtle sensation, but it's a strong one. And I'm saying subtle because it's connected to the inside of the body rather than what the outside is doing. So in today's class, I was constantly looking to get you to connect to that pelvic floor engagement by the bounce. So the bounce was the one that planted the feet a little bit firmer, let the tone go up in intensity and up physically, anatomically on the legs. And then as the intensity drew up, with the tailbone tucked, the pelvic floor started working more. And when the pelvic floor starts working more, you'll feel it in your lower abdominal. So that's the legs into the hips, into the core. Boom. Nice, strong engagement, unity, a beautiful connection. Same for the arms. That's what we did for the arms as well. So you know how we keep the hips open by slightly rotating the thighs. Same for the shoulders. We rotate the shoulders open, we lift them up, and then we place them back and down on the rib cage. So whatever posture we were in, this is not an option. Rolling them down on the rib cage and then keeping them open as the rib cage is. So resisting this. Because you see, when I do this, when I draw the shoulder blades close to my spine, I'm locking my neck. When I draw them out, my neck is free. And I can lift from the base of the neck. So it's a beautiful, beautiful sensation. And then with this open, just the way the hips are open, it's really like a mirror image. There, it's as simple as that. We activate the palms. Remember how we activated the feet with the toes up? We activate the palms. If you look at your palms, you have a little suction cup in between, in the middle of them. So it's like the arch. So you spread the fingers a little bit open. Hands up. You spread the fingers a little bit open. You feel that suction cup get active. And then you see that actually opens your wrist. So it's like wrist therapy, whatever you do in every pose. You're keeping your wrists open, you're keeping your wrists aligned, and then you're keeping your elbows open and your legs, your elbows aligned. and the same for the shoulders. So when we're going up, we're keeping the shoulders open, we're keeping the arms open, we're keeping them engaged, elbows are straight, and we're avoiding this. We want to get this. If we have to stay here in a big YMCA V shape, go for it. The shape is just the shape. The postures facilitate the body. The postures are there for us to explore the body in as many angles as we want to. So let the posture serve you, serve your body. So palms open, wrists open, such a beautiful space in the wrists, in the shoulders. And then we feel as the shoulders rest on the rib cage, we bring the breastbone in, and just the way we brought the tailbone in, remember we activated the legs, we brought the tailbone in, lower abdominal on. Same for the arms. Fingers are active, arms are active, shoulders are active, breastbone down, upper abdominals on. So it's a full, it's a connection. I want to say full body, but I don't want to say that yet because there's a part missing. So we've got the upper abdominals, we've got the lower abdominals, the 4 lines of force engaged. Super duper. How about the spine? Well, that's where the third point of focus came in. So I was constantly telling you about the legs lift up through the kneecaps, keep the thighs open. I was constantly telling you about the arms engaged. We did a beautiful variation of triangle, a beautiful variation of warrior 2 to keep that upper body nice and strong. We're working on upper body strength in case you haven't noticed. So the lower abdomen, the upper abdomen. Then we have the breath to activate the spine. So tailbone is down. We breathe a little bit into the belly. We breathe into the rib cage. And when you breathe into the rib cage, you breathe into the rib cage front, back, up, down, and the rib cage floats up. And it's a beautiful decompression. You feel the space in the lower back get a little bit longer. You feel the space in the mid back, the lower part of your rib cage get a little bit longer. You feel the space between the rim of the rib cage and the hip bones get a little bit longer. You keep the breastbone in, because if you don't keep the breastbone in, this is what's happening. So with the lower back compressed, the extension is impossible. So breastbone in, tailbone in. These are the 2 keystones that we start with to allow for the third keystone, the rib cage going up, floating up, shoulders open, and when the rib cage floats up, we have this space nicely open, and then the neck frees. And we feel the neck is freed, because I said freeze, so it's not freezing. So the neck is freed, and we're lifting from, imagine the dimples here, you can touch them, lifting from the base of the head, chin slightly to the heart. So not out, not in, to the heart, like you're drawing it slightly down, but you're actually only drawing it down to feel the tone in the neck and the throat. So it's an engagement on the inside and the outside of the neck. It's beautiful. It's like, wow, so much power in there. And then with the lower back and the mid back lengthened, the neck lengthened, the spine just goes whoo, and you might feel like you're standing taller, like your whole body is in extension. You might feel some tingles and getting goosebumps right now. So it's a place of power. It's a power pose in a way. So it's a great energizing place to be in, and it's a connecting place to be in. And if you followed what I was telling you, the body and the breath coming together. So that was what our meditation was all about. Breathing your body, noticing that there's no line between the body and the breath. They merge so naturally, beautifully, when there's that presence of being in both of them. And then the heart. So bringing a little bit of heart into that wonderful connection. So that was our first class. It was quite intense energetically. You might have got a bit sweaty, which is fine. That's the core working. But you're working in the natural alignment of your body. And you noticed the pace we went at was very mindful, because I wanted to stop step by step and get you to ease into the poses and tune into your body. So that's the line that we're going to continue on. Join me next week for more core adventures.